Ben, it was a pretty tough day down there, very tough game, but you must be thrilled that you end up escaping with a win.
It was a tough day. Conditions weren't great throughout the day, and the ground was pretty heavy. But and going down there, we knew we were going to be in for a challenge, no matter the conditions. Our boys fought really hard in the first half. There were some things we probably could have done a little better, but due to South's good pressure in that first quarter, especially, we hung in there, and we just knew that we had to play 4 quarters, and then we were able to break the game open in that last quarter.
Yeah, I think it was 180 tackles laid throughout the day. It's an enormous number, and only 1 to 2 goals up, and that margin stayed through most of the game. But do you guys feel comfortable with the way that the game was being played? Given we're a high tackle team.
Yeah, that's part of our game. We're a contest defence team that prides ourselves on bring that pressure towards the opposition and absorbing their pressure. And as I said, we went in there knowing that it was going to be a tough day. We weren't going to break the game open early. They were always going to be with us. They do have really good effort and intent, and it was just a matter of probably outlasting them in that part of the game. And we were good enough to do that.
Yeah, and Twig said to the boys after the game it was one of your best wins of the season. What made it so? It wasn't going our way for the whole game, away from home, just grounded out.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose the important part of that was the number of guys that have come into the team over the last sort of 2 to 3 weeks, in particular off the back of some key injuries to players, and they've played their role really well. We had another 2 on the weekend come in, Goy Locke and Brody Carroll. Had Captain Kennelly out, Simpson pulled out late as well, and just those guys coming in, being able to play their role. We had a lot of inaccuracy throughout the day, which has been a little bit of a trend, unfortunately, for us. We're getting a lot of scoring shots. I think we probably had around 27 scoring shots for the day, which is, in those conditions, was a great effort with the amount of inside 50s we had as well. It's just a matter of trying to capitalise a little bit more on our contest and defence work that we put in across the ground. I thought our backline in particular was outstanding for the majority of the day. When South were able to get the ball forward, majority of the time they were able to stand up really well and rebound that ball. And we, as I said before, it was going to be a grind all day, and I think that's why Twig sort of put down to one of our better wins for the year.
Yeah, you must have been really happy with the midfield performance. They had a strong mid, and losing JK and Simpson before the game, but to have plus 20 inside 50s, plus 38 contested ball, plus 16 clearance, you must have been thrilled with how they went in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we knew that we weren't going to get it all on our terms. They've got some really good inside mids that are pretty powerful sort of players, good runners. So we need to make sure that we were able to cover them contest to contest, but then once we had the ball, we were able to get into some good areas through the middle of the ground, and then we had some pretty good entries. We could have probably entered a little bit better at times, but the conditions didn't sort of suit that really free-flowing, fast game, and at times we were able to just get it into contest, and our forwards did a super job creating follow-the-ball opportunities, and we were able to score off the back of that in the last half.
Yeah, I thought Lord and Lowy in that first half were just a class above with their cleanliness. Is that how you saw it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Lord's first half, although he didn't dominate on the stat sheet, every time he went near the ball he was just so clean, he was able to use his legs. And then Low again through the middle of the ground, probably had a couple of weeks where he wasn't as dominant as what he'd been previously, but he got back to being that real clean, composed, and he got after the ball as well and the opposition. I think he had probably a number of tackles throughout the game that coincided with his ability to work from contest to contest.
Yeah, I thought Donnelly's game on fit was really important to allow Pierce Seymour to pretty much run around on his own and take contested mark after intercept mark after intercept mark, 23 off half back. You must be impressed with those two.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just them two. As I said, the whole back line has been super for a number of weeks now. There's been a couple of changes here and there. Obviously, Ling's been out for a few weeks, and we've had players come in and cover the role. Donnelly just gets the job done week to week. there wouldn't be too many forwards around the competition. It'd be like fronting up against us each week, having to know that there's potential of Donnelly going to them. He just gets the job done. He's not fussed about getting on the end of any ball. What the team needs, he'll do it. He prepares really well for his opponents, and it does free up and allow other players around to get on the end of the ball. But Tom Donnelly's not the only one down there. Like, Tommy Graham's been absolutely sensational. Jack Hurd is starting to play some really good footy again, and it just allows our small to medium players to have the confidence that once they defend really well, that there's the potential to be able to get some ball going the other way.
Yeah, any win in those conditions away from home would have been, a massive bonus. But to keep them to 4 goals and to power away late and end up with a 39-point win, how important was that final margin?
Yeah, I don't think it's the margin that dictates how well we've gone for the game. It was just based off that came off the back of all of our good contest work and defensive work across the ground. And as I said, we just needed to be stronger for longer, and we were able to capitalise. And obviously, kicking straight helps. We had the opportunities probably in the first 3 quarters to maybe extend a bit of a margin, but we weren't able to. South were good enough to stay with us. And then the last quarter we were able to move that ball forward and score, which was really pleasing.
Yeah, I thought Alec Wright had a really good game and then got the reward with the last goal of the game, the last kick.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic. He has put in a mountain of work. Obviously had a little injury last year where he got a taste of senior footy and then wasn't able to force his way into the team for the first part of the year. Got an opportunity in a couple of different areas that he probably wasn't used to playing. But he's a bit like Tom Donnelly. Whatever the team needs, he's first to put his hand up, and he does it week in, week out. And again on the weekend, for him to play pretty much purely as an inside mid was fantastic for him, and then great reward at the end of the game.
Yeah, and West Adelaide this week got back-to-back away games, which is never easy. How do you see them and how they're going?
Yeah, it's going to be a similar contest again this week. They're a really good contest team, play strong one-on-one footy, and we need to be at our absolute best to be able to get the result that we want. The first time round at Port Lincoln was a struggle for the majority of the game. Again, inaccuracy hurt us that day, but I'm sure the boys will prepare really well. We'll coach them hard throughout the week and try and keep improving from where we're at the moment.